and we're here with Violeta Heisler, who's an endurance athlete and a super mom, a mother of 4 children, and 3 children and a wife, and works full time, and amazingly tomorrow is going to be her 100th marathon. So we're excited to interview her. We're extremely happy for her, and we definitely want to get the scoop on how did she go from setting a goal to actually completing her goal. So Violeta, thank you for being here. And so how are you feeling?
Good, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling nervous. I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling like I have like 1,000 butterflies in my belly. And but I'm happy that I was able to complete this goal. If nothing happens tomorrow and I cross the finish line, I'll be completing 100 marathons.
Are you gonna finish?
Of course.
That's awesome. So the LA Marathon was the first marathon you ever ran?
Yes, it was my first race. It was my first marathon. It was actually my first crazy idea.
Why was the LA Marathon the crazy idea that you had?
Well, because, like you said, I'm not an athlete. Like, I was never an athlete. I started going to the gym when I was in my 30s. And I picked up running when I was in, like, 35. And I had the idea to do a marathon, but I never, like, went through it. And one day I was outside running, and I was like, oh, my God, I did 8 miles. I can do this. I can do the marathon. And I asked my friend, you think I'm able to do it? And he's like, sure, go ahead, just sign up. And it was like a month from there. So you could imagine I had to go from 8 miles to at least 20 in 3 weeks, because the next week was like tapering. So I think the most I ran, it was 18 miles. And then the next week I had to do the 26. And then you could imagine how painful and how sore and how beat up I was when I was there standing at the start line. But I was so excited. I don't know if I was more excited than what I am right now, or I am more excited right now.
And what was your training like within those 3 weeks?
I had to go from 8 miles to 20, so it was 8. It was probably like 60 miles a week, because
Wow.
I had to go, if not more, because I had to do like long distances, 8, 14, 8, 10s, 9s, and then the first weekend I had to do like 14, the next weekend 16, and then the next weekend I had to do the 20, but I couldn't because I miscalculated. I didn't have a GPS watch. Had to drive my way to see how much I was running. So I miscalculated and I did like 18 miles instead of 20. And when I was running and I hit mile 20, I was like, ah. Okay.
And why is LA Marathon so special for you?
Well, it is special because it's my hometown. I lived there most of my life, and running the LA Marathon is different than most because the people just love you. They just love you, and they're supportive. They love all the running there. They have a passion for that day, for that marathon, and that was the first. That I guess when I did sign up, I thought it was the only marathon.
And did you at any point in those 3 weeks think about quitting? Did you think that this is too crazy? Why am I doing this?
No, I wasn't thinking about quitting, but I was thinking, oh my God, what did I get myself into? You know, but I would talk to my friend, and he'll, no, you can do it, and I remember going to work, and my legs will be like heavy, sore, and I was in pain, but a good pain, a good kind of pain.
So tell us what you remember about the first marathon. Do you remember at all what was your favorite mile, how you were feeling? Did you hit the wall that day?
Well, actually, it was changed from March to May, so it was hot. It was really hot. It was like in the upper 80s. And what I like is when, you know, the people are like hosing you with water. The firefighters open the, what do they call, the fire hydrants, and they let all the water go so the runners can have some water. And then, I remember it was really hot, and I was running, and the first half I was like Speedy Gonzalez, and I was like energetic, and I was like, oh, I can do this. I got it. And then I was like, you know, it's like, I had to start walking, and I walked and run into almost to the end. So,
Most people, when they finish a marathon, they're one and done.
yeah.
What was your thoughts after you finished?
That I needed to do it again. That I wanted to do it again. I think it's when I was born as a runner. I think that's the day that I said, this is me. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to keep doing. And luckily, I kept doing it.
That's cool. And when did you decide that 100 marathons was a goal?
2011, I set my first goal to run 12 marathons in 1 year, which meant doing one every month. And I had done like 4. Like before that, I had done like 4, and I was like, I know that's gonna be tough, but I can do it. I can do 1 month. And I actually did 20 instead of 12. So that gave me more of, I was already in love with the distance, but that actually gave me more what to expect, what to do. I had different goals than just, you know, finish one marathon and do the other, but I had like, okay, now I can do more. I can do this. I guess I got a little bit crazy. So, and then I did, so I was at 20 something, and I kept going, and then I got pregnant with my baby, so I had to stop a little bit. And but then when I hit my 50, I said, well, maybe I can do more than 50. And I had it always in my head that I want to do 100. But, you know, pregnancy, and then I had injuries, and then I had my work full-time, commuting. It's really tough to train properly, but I did thought about it a lot of times, that I wanted to, you know, I want to complete 100. So I guess it was 2015 when I wanted to do it, but I still needed like 40 marathons to complete, and I thought it was too much. And then the next year, 2016, is when I said, okay, I'm at 63, I can do this. I can do it and make it at, you know, LA 2017 to be my 100.
And you
because
had to.
I wanted LA to be my 100.
Yeah. And in 2016, to get to go from 63 to make sure that you hit 100 at this LA marathon, tell us about the different marathons that you had to do in order to get to this point.
Well, first of all, I made a miscalculation, like I always do, because I thought I had 63, but actually I had like 60. No, I thought I had 65, but actually I had like 62. So I had to complete 36 marathons in one calendar year to reach 100 tomorrow, in the LA Marathon 2017. So I started like I planning, this month I'm gonna do this, and that, and it all like fit perfectly, right? But then again, you're not always sure what's gonna happen. 26 miles is a really long way, and then you might complete it, you may not complete it, you may DNF, you never know what's gonna happen. And then since prior to that, I had taken like a really long break because I didn't have a job. So it's kind of hard to keep racing and keep training and when you're looking for a job. So I was just coming back from a 6-month break. So it was like for me starting again. I think last year I finished around 6 hours when it usually takes me only 5.
Right.
When before my baby only took me 4.
Right.
So as you get older, it takes 1 more hour, But anyways,
But you had to do 7 marathons.
Yeah,
You had to do back-to-backs.
yeah.
Tell us
So
about that.
I had to do like at least 3 a month, and sometimes I was like kind of stressing that I wasn't gonna be able to make it. So I did it was Spring 7, where you do 7 marathons in 7 days, and then I started doing doubles, like one Saturday and then the next one the next Sunday. And as I got, farther into my road, to my path, I thought I wasn't gonna make it, so I started doing triples, which means I started doing like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I remember one triple is like I did like a 51K, then two marathons. And then I had an injury. Because when you do too much too fast, you're always, you have that risk of getting like, I actually had one injury that kept me from running for 2 months. So that sent me back 2 months. That was a lot of time.
I remember that. Tell us about that experience. What was it like knowing that you're on your way and then an injury happens unexpectedly and then you're told you cannot run and you have to let the injury heal? And as you said, it took 2 months. What was that like? For once, it was kind of heartbreaking because I had already gone all the way to 4:36. I think that was my time. And then I broke the 5 several times. And being inactive for 2 months, it sent me back again to square one, where when I came back, it was like 5:40. So that was really annoying and upsetting. And besides, I had a 2 month that I couldn't run. So that was like at least 6 marathons that I could have completed. But since I couldn't, it sent me back. So when I came back, even though I was doing them like slowly, but I started doing like more doubles and more triples. I think I did like, I think it was September when I did like 7 marathons in that month. And then, but it was kind of strengthening, it kept me motivated and, thinking I gotta do it and no matter what. So I started doing what I had to do. Doubles, triples. Sometimes I think an injury, while it's heartbreaking, it makes the athlete much stronger because you overcame that adversity, and not only overcoming the physical injury, but you become mentally stronger.
Yes, and well, I guess this journey of 100 marathons is not the only injury that I had. I had a much worse one after my 2nd marathon where I fractured my spine. And that one didn't heal in 2 months. That one took me like 6 months to actually be able to, train and come back and do. I did a couple of half marathons before trying to do my other marathon. But I guess that also got me to the point where I thought, well, I couldn't run. Now I can, and I'm not gonna stop.
Tell us about your transformation. What have you learned from your first marathon to tomorrow's going to be your 100th? Have you changed?
Oh, no, yeah, definitely. I think I'm like a lot tougher, stronger. I'm like, it's just a lot that I've been through that I guess it's made me physically strong than what I used to be. And I think if there's like a zombie apocalypse or anything like that, I'll be like one of the last people on earth.
And, you know, you have a family, you're married. Can you tell us what it was like having to sacrifice, or would you say that your family was so supportive that it made it an easy transition for you?
Yeah, that's a really good point to bring it up, because I know there's a lot of people that, oh, I don't have time, I can't do it, I'm married, I have kids. It is a sacrifice. It is when you're trying to do something and you're trying to, whether it's like time wise or is it like how many marathons you want to do, or you want to PR, or you want to go into a longer distance. There's always going to be sacrifices. There's always going to be, you got to sacrifice your time with your family. You got to sacrifice weekends. You got to sacrifice, like me, there was a lot of times where I didn't have dinner with my family because I was running. And sleep. I used to wake up at 4 a.m, while with my dog, come back and get ready for work. I have a really long commute, so it was 4 a.m. to coming back home at 7 at night. And then sometimes when I used to come at 7, I had to go, instead of, have dinner, nice, relax, no, I had to go and run.
What do you say to those women that are out there that they've thought about doing a marathon, but they don't know? Those that feel like, I'm not an athlete, I've never ran, I hate running, or those that have families and children. What do you say to anyone who's not a runner or thinking about it, about any positive message you have for them?
That if I can do it, anybody can do it. Like I said, I was never an athlete. I've never liked sports. I used to hate the mile in high school. Like, I hated it. Go run. But, and I never thought, honestly, that I would be able to run 26 miles. I've never, in my mind, that I was going to be able to do that distance, like less 100 marathons. But I know if anybody, just set a goal, set their minds to it, and focus to what they want, they're going to be able to achieve it.
That's great. And tomorrow, are you going to run for time, or are you just going to enjoy every mile?
I think I've been Mickey Mousing too much. I think I've been goofing off for the last 4 years. I'm always I like to take pictures, and I like to eat the Chili's dog at mile 8, and I like to have beer and bacon.
Mile 18th is the beer, beer mile, yeah.
So I might do a little bit of goofing off, but I do want to keep my pace.
That's
because
great.
after this, I think I'm gonna start working on my times, and if I'm able to break the 5 tomorrow, I'll cry. I'll probably cry.
That's great. And after you complete your goal, are you going to set another goal, or are you going to keep running? You're going to move up?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep running because I think if I don't do it, I'll probably end up with diabetes or high blood pressure or obese or or something like that, you know? Because I'm not 20, I'm like over 40, and I need to keep being active just for my health, you know, just for my health. But it's always fun when you know, like, oh, I want to do this. I said it, and it's like amazing when you're like, you're there, you're like, oh, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. So it's like yesterday and the day before yesterday, I couldn't eat. I was so excited. I was just thinking about it, that I have, you know, since that first one that I ran, I'm gonna be able to complete it.
What was it like at the expo today?
It was like, I just like walked in and I felt like, I wanted to puke.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is amazing when you actually set a goal and you complete it.
That's great. And do you consider yourself an athlete now?
Well, everybody tells me I am, I guess. I guess so. Oh yeah, and one thing that I've changed since I started running, yeah, my ego went from this to that. So.
Well, you call yourself the marathon queen, right? Where'd you come up with that?
It was when I was running. Actually, it wasn't me who came up with the name. It was one of my running friends. It's when I was trying to reach that goal of doing 12 and completed 20. So one of my friends, every time I ran a marathon, oh, here comes the queen crossing the finish line, or he'll post something about just that, kudos to the queen, and some other people would jump in, you know, they're like, yeah, the queen. So I kind of liked it. It kind of had like a ring to it, and I guess they got me that name. I liked it, Marathon Queen.
That's great. It definitely fits you. And do you have a favorite mile that you always look forward to at the LA Marathon? Because every mile...
26.2.